You are a superstar. Symbol of a woman who be working for herself. You are a superstar. Owamie, Owamie. Owamie, Owamie. You a vlogger, fashion over. You a being one less than a mugozi. Owamie, Owamie. Owamie, Owamie.
Hi ninjas, how are you guys doing? It's your girl Owamie, aka Miss Fair Focal, bringing back for all entertainment. If it's the first time joining me, most definitely welcome. Please do make sure that you subscribe and obviously hit the bell. I absolutely love you, and do not forget to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. It's at boldly Owamie. Now my ninjas, today I'm going to talk about something that is very serious, and I would like to just go ahead and give this disclaimer to say that I am not someone that discriminates against anybody. To be honest with you, that's just the type of person that I am. And I want you guys to watch this whole video. If you're going to watch it, please don't just skip through, see the parts that maybe you'd feel like you want to, and then not get the full story and then go out there like thinking whatever. It is 2022. People are a lot more sensitive to stuff. And I think that sometimes, even when you're just out here telling the truth, there are people that will still get offended. I feel like I've just gotten to a point where I've accepted that, you know, people are going to be offended. It's just no matter what it is, like people can be offended by anything. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this change. Now today we're going to talk about Nozi, and the reason why I'm even talking about Nozi is because obviously I know that she is a YouTuber, and you guys know her. She's someone that is doing really well. She's living positively with HIV, so she is HIV positive. She even has a show on Honey TV, you know, which I think the name of the show is Yes, I am HIV positive, where she helps people basically come out to their families, you know, about HIV. And you know, there was a day that she actually was talking. I can't remember where she spoke about this. I can't remember if it was on a podcast or it was on her channel. I can't remember, but she did talk about one of the encounters that she had on her show. And she was saying that, you know, she was actually shocked about that, and the fact that when, you know, I think it was a child or you know, the relative came out to the relative that was there. The relative was like, oh, you know, you're HIV positive. It's like, you know, your life is gonna be cut short or something like that. And then when Nozi said, oh, then it means my life is also gonna get cut short, or I'm also gonna get sick or whatever because I'm also HIV positive. And she said that that relative was so shocked because they looked at her. I mean, Nozi's a gorgeous girl, and they just did not expect her to have HIV. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so when she said that, that honestly like did sit with me to be like, yeah, you know, things like this are still happening. However, guys, on the 1st of December, you guys do know that it's World AIDS Day, and of course Nozi did go ahead and she posted this on Twitter. Guys, when it comes to this pen, let me just tell you guys a small story. I was with Jesus' son, and I saw it. I was like, oh, that's nice, and he just picked it and he paid, and he was like, here, and I was like, so I was like, you know, my man's money ain't going to get to waste. So I started using it, and now I'm just literally enjoying it. For like such an oldie, like this is such oldie stuff, but I'm enjoying it. So guys, please don't come for me when it comes to my pen. But anyway, this is what Nozi said. She said, World AIDS Day. There's no face to HIV. My name is Nozi Bele Kamngamana. Oh, girl, sorry to butcher your name. Nozibele Kamngana Mayaba. I've been living with HIV for the past 9 years, and I am still me. Okay, now someone retweeted that and said, you'd pass my eye test with flying colors. And what this person is basically saying is that if this person looked at Nozi, they would sleep with her raw, because she would pass the eye test, you know, where they check, oh, okay, nah, she doesn't look like she has HIV, so, you know, she doesn't have, so they're gonna hit raw. And then obviously people were saying a lot of stuff. Then the last one that I'm gonna go ahead and comment on is this one. This person said she looked like she has flavored HIV, something like strawberry sunrise HIV positive, you know. And so a lot of comments were actually going down and people were saying a lot of stuff. And I think that as much as, you know, World AIDS Day is a day that people that are living positively with HIV and AIDS, you know, they get to celebrate how far they have come in terms of, you guys know that back then, you know, it was made to seem like if you're HIV positive, that was a life sentence. It was like death. You know, it was like, oh, you're going to definitely die, you know. And also like the way people that there was just so much stigma around this you know, a disease. I don't know if it's a virus or disease, but there was just so much stigma around it, where, you know, there were discriminations where people were literally like, you know, they're like, oh, you can't touch me, you can't hug someone that's HIV positive, you can't do this, you can't do that. And people didn't have a lot of knowledge about, you know, this virus. So obviously we've come a very long way to a point where, you know, people are getting educated in terms of, you know, obviously this is how HIV works, you know, this is what happens, this is how you can prevent, this is if you have it, this is how you can do this and you can do that and you can do that. However, I personally feel like at this point, you guys, as much as we always want to preach the positive message in terms of people that are HIV positive, they also deserve, as I'm saying, to celebrate that the milestones that they've come as a community, to destigmatize the stigmas that have been there. I fully support them, and I fully support everything in the movement and how far as a community they have come. However, at the same time, looking at the fact that South Africa, you guys, is the one that has got we have got the highest level of HIV and AIDS in the whole world. It is mind-boggling. And I think that the thing that mind boggles me is this. If I'm not too mistaken, we're like 50-something million population. 60 million, I think, at most. Do you understand? Definitely 50-something million. We have China. China has a population of what, 3 billion or something. We have Nigeria, you guys. Nigeria is the most populated country in the continent of Africa. They have over, I think, about 300 million population. And even with these other countries that have got so much and so many people that are highly populated than us, we still take the cup. Something is definitely wrong with our country. Something is definitely wrong with our country. I think that the government obviously tries as much as, you know, like I don't know, but there's something that we're definitely missing as a country. There's a mark that we're missing. I don't know if it's only just a matter of now the thing that is being educated, or the education that maybe the younger generation is getting, is that HIV is no longer a death sentence, which is true, and I do believe that it needs to obviously be taught so that people would know. But I think that at the same time, they should also like educate how serious HIV actually really is. Someone that is HIV positive and can afford private care, and someone that is HIV positive and can only afford public care, they are not at the same level. That's my personal opinion. They are not at the same level. I'm telling you guys. Just going to a public institution, like it's horror. It's like a horror movie. It's like a film, guys. A film. You have even seen like you know, skits that people make. Nina be HIV, come this side, or whatever. And you would actually think, well, those are just kids. Hey, no. There are certain places where things like this are still honestly happening. As a country, we still have a very long way to actually go when it comes to this situation. And as I'm saying, guys, to say, I do believe that we do need to celebrate how far people living with HIV have come. But at the same time, I think we also need to educate the younger generation just how serious this virus is. Number one, it has no cure. Number two, things don't always go according to plan. Your body may reject the medication. There's a lot that comes out. The time that I was still working, I remember There was a patient that I once saw, and I remember that day literally, guys, I ran away. I won't even lie to you guys, I ran away that day. I couldn't. There was a patient, you guys, and she had Steven Johnson. If you do not know this disease, go and Google it. I have Googled, and on the internet they've shown pictures. Most of the pictures that they've shown are like of white people, but the one that I saw of that lady, you guys, that is the worst that I literally like have ever seen. Even from the internet, I've never seen anything like that. First of all, guys, her whole skin was like coming out. Her whole skin, they were literally picking skin off from wherever it is that she was sleeping. So due to the fact that if she's sleeping on linen, you know, when she wakes up, her skin is dried on the linen, they had to put her in a plastic. Okay, now with the plastic, they were experiencing the same thing. If she's sleeping and the plastic you know is obviously on her skin, when they remove it, the skin is dead. Mind you guys, she's in a lot of pain. They had to pour water with soap. Do you understand what I'm saying? The water with soap that was there, she had to sleep on that. Now that was better than what she was going to get had it been that she was on linen, or she was just on the plastic with no water. And I don't know if that was soap, but it was something soapy. You know, it would have been worse, but at least because of that it was better, but it was still not comfortable due to the fact that her skin, like literally almost all her skin, she was looking white. And I'm not saying white like white people, like white like this white, you know, because the skin, I don't know which layer came out, but she was like literally looking white. She was obviously in isolation, and then when she was there, due to the skin, they said that she couldn't regulate her temperature, so they had to keep on opening the windows because, you know, the place was not smelling nice. And then they had to also get in a heater so that her body can be able to regulate. It was honestly horrible. She had gone blind because of it, you know, and she reacted. So from what I heard, I mean, obviously that's what the older nurses actually said. They said that she reacted to one of the pills that is in the package of the ARVs, and mind you guys, it was back then, so I don't know if now it's only one pill that you take, but then there was a pill, I think they call it the Navara pill or something, and they said that's the one that she reacted to. And that's when she developed Steven Johnson, the disease. She unfortunately did end up passing away. Guys, honestly, I was just so traumatized that day because at first I didn't know anything about it. I thought, is it something that you can get it? I literally packed my bags and I ran. Okay, I know you can say whatever it is that you want to say, but I did go home, I did a lot of research on it, and I did find obviously it's not something that can pass. It's when your body literally reacts to like medication and everything, a certain medication, and there are different levels, but her level was like just severe, and she had been living positively with HIV for the past 10 years from what they explained, you understand? And so I remember just, you know, that story of that woman never ever leaves my mind. Now I do know that no one chooses to say I'm gonna go out there and get HIV. I know that for a fact. I think my heart literally also breaks for wives, especially, or husbands that are married and they're supposed to be sleeping with their partners without protection, because when you're married to someone, you're supposed to be in a union where you guys are supposed to, you know, the union is saying that it's only us, but unfortunately we do live with scumbags that will go out there, sleep with someone without protection, that they don't even know their status or anything, and then still come home and sleep with their wife, sleep with their husband without a protection, and then they end up infecting their partners. I think that that's also like one of the most painful situations. And also me, as I'm saying, guys, the time I was still a nurse, there were cases that were like that. One in particular that will never leave my mind. It was this woman. She came in, she was sick, she was not understanding why she was so sick. She had lost a lot of weight. When they asked like, should we do, you know, an HIV test, she was like, no, I don't have HIV, but you can go ahead and test. And when they tested, guys, it came back a positive. And unfortunately at that time, I think she was already you know, She had AIDS. It wasn't just HIV. She was very sick, honestly. And her husband was not. Like, her husband was looking very healthy. So obviously that's why she was like, no, it can't be, because if I'm sick, he would also have to be sick. So it's definitely not that. And so, you know, obviously when she was told, guys, she was so devastated. And on top of that, we then found out after speaking to the husband that the husband knew he was HIV positive, and he went on medication without telling the wife. So he was taking his ARVs in secret, and the wife was then not taking ARVs. She passed that same week. She died a heartbroken woman after she found out, and her husband came. She didn't talk to him. He was talking, was apologizing. She didn't. And mind you guys, this is all happening in a public hospital. Do you understand? And so it's like, I feel like the experiences that I've also just had, and looking at the patients and the people that are just not well with HIV, the time that I was still a nurse, it has just shown me a little bit more of the severity of how you know, this virus honestly can be. And I think that it's important that as a community, especially as South Africa, looking at the fact that we have the highest stats, the rate is very high. I think we should also learn to say, as much as we're celebrating, let's still continue to preach and push, and not be like we're offending the group that already has. We support them, you know, obviously we love them. We know, and we now know and understand, not just now, but you know, we know and we understand that the stigma around that has to be broken. But at the same time, I think we need to also make an effort. Let's have those campaigns that still go out there and preach in schools and tell these young kids that HIV is honestly something that is very serious. It's something that you need to take your medication on time every single day, because unfortunately you can actually be resistant. That's the one medication that you can be resistant towards, and it's not a lot of people that literally know about this. There's a lot of people that still do not know about PrEP and how to use it, how many days to take it, that if you don't take it the full course, it's not gonna be as effective. After you have finished that, you still need to go back and again test, because it's also not 100% proof. So when I saw this, you guys, I was like, okay, there's still people that are like, you would pass my eye radar, and these are your boyfriends, these are your husbands. And it's not everyone, guys, that is going to talk, and it's not everyone that looks healthy, that is. And it's not everyone that looks like they do not have HIV that do not have it. Some look like they don't have HIV and they have it, and it's very much active in terms of their viral load is not even controlled, because even though maybe they're taking their medication, they're not taking their medication on time every single day. Because it's not just about I take my pills. It's not just about, oh, I'm gonna take my pill today at 8 o'clock, tomorrow I'm gonna take it at 11, day after tomorrow I'll take it at 1, day after tomorrow I'll take it at 9. If you choose to say you're going to take that pill at 9 a.m. every morning, it has to be 9 a.m. every morning. That's how it can best be controlled. Do you understand? And again, as I'm saying, there are chances that your body may reject. So it's just always safe to say, if you're not HIV positive yet, please protect yourself. Please educate yourself on this. We are living in the most populated, I don't know, like HIV in the world. So I think as South Africans, we would literally be dumb if we think that we can turn a blind eye, because it's everywhere. And people don't talk about it. People don't say. Some people are very selfish. You know you're HIV positive, you're still going to sleep with someone without protection, and you know you're HIV positive. It's really sad, and this is a very important you know, topic that I think we also need to get to a point where we can be able to celebrate people living with HIV, but at the same time also show the severity of you know, how serious this virus also is, just so that at least people that are not HIV positive yet can go ahead and protect themselves. At least let's get a generation that is not gonna have as high of a percentage when it comes to HIV. But anyway, that is just my thoughts. And honestly, I know that this is a very sensitive topic. If there's anyone that I have offended, I am really honestly sorry. But at the same time, I do personally feel like those campaigns that they used to do when we were younger and they were talking about HIV, I think that they need to bring them back. You know, they definitely need to bring them back. They need to go to these schools. They need to talk to these children, because I think there was a study that actually showed that majority of the people that are HIV positive now, the age group, they are like teenagers from the age of, is it not 18 or 17 to the age of like 25 or something. They did talk about, like, you know, if I'm not too mistaken, I can't remember, I don't know if it's still the same stats, but it was like that. And obviously the problem that's there is that you're getting like 40-year-olds that are HIV positive. They know that these children nowadays, they don't really get the education of how serious HIV honestly is. They're no longer afraid of it. You know, they're like, oh, you know, you get HIV, you just go to the clinic, you'll get medication, you're fine. And this older man that will come literally holding 10,000 rands to a child that is a teenager, that's like a lot of money. Do you understand what I'm saying? And if this man is saying that now I don't like protection, the child is young. They are not as mentally developed and mentally strong as Owamie that are 32, that is going to be like, no nigga, no, we're not doing that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so these children end up sleeping with older men for change, literally, and then they end up getting sick, and now they have to go to the clinic and get the pills. They can't even get, you also need to eat proper diets, and that's not cheap, hey, especially looking at how the country is. And so I just think that honestly, it's a message that we need to again preach. You know, it's a message that we need to again preach and also educate, to say, guys, HIV is still a very serious thing, hey. It still is a very serious thing, and you do go through a lot because you're sick. Do you understand? Especially before your viral load is controlled. Once you are undetectable, you are fine. Once you are undetectable, you are fine. However, do I think that it's wise for you? They say prevention is better than cure. So I think that maybe there's something that we need to again relearn and be like, guys, prevention is better than cure. Let's prevent. The ones that are HIV positive now, let it be the last group. Let's now get a new group that is not going to be HIV positive, and let's, you know, obviously like lower the rate at which we have in South Africa. So I don't know, guys, please just comment down below what I was saying. Was it making sense? Was it making sense? Because I feel like, as much as I'm really happy that, you know, people are free and people are feeling more and more comfortable to come out with their statuses, and I'm really happy about that, and I honestly like support the movement, I also just feel like we also need to still talk about how serious this virus honestly is, and how much of a toll it actually takes on you. I do remember there was there was a lady that I actually saw on TikTok, and she's HIV positive, and I remember that day she was literally almost in tears, and she was talking about how people don't talk about how strong this drugs really are in your body. Like, they take a toll on your body. And mind you guys, remember, we are not the same. Our bodies react in different ways. So she was like, you know, she was going through a lot, you know, this and that, and she's just like, at this point she doesn't even know. Like, she was like, I just want to tell you guys that yes, I am HIV positive and I'm living positively with it, but it's not something that I'll tell you go and be careless, because these pills are not as easy. These pills are very hard, and if they are anything close to the PrEP that you take if you think you've been exposed, yeah, then definitely they would definitely be, because I've been on PrEP, and I literally remember I was on the phone calling my friend crying, like I don't know what to do, especially because they gave me the wrong ones at first. Clicks did me so wrong that time, you guys. The time I traveled to Lesotho, it was bad, you know, it was really bad. I had constipation, I was drugged, I was sleeping like nobody's business. I literally didn't even see the trip, and when I came back, that was when they realized they are still PrEP, but they were not the ones that were prescribed by my doctor. So I had to get to those ones, and I still had to finish that course. So I think I was on PrEP for like over 40, almost 40 days. Over 40 days for sure. It was so heavy, guys. So I don't know if those ones are stronger and heavier, but after that experience, yeah, I definitely did feel that I was honestly just scared of those drugs. I have been very careful with everything that I do, and so use condoms, guys. Like, condomize. It doesn't necessarily have to be Durex. You can get any other one, but please use condoms. And these are conversations that we honestly need to have. These are conversations that we honestly need to have. No matter how much love someone can show you, please use condoms, because you don't know. They may be showing someone else the same love. Now, when you're married, it's a different story. I personally feel like I will honestly always have problems in terms of my ex-husband cheated on me, and the message that I saw, he was literally texting the person he was supposed to go sleep with to say, and I told you that I don't want to use condoms. I trust you and I trust myself. And I was like, nigga, what about me? Because I know that nigga was not going to come home and tell me that he slept with someone raw. So I think that God protects us in different ways. And I don't know if I've spoken about this, but you guys do remember that when I left, I literally did go and get an HIV test, because I was so nervous, because I didn't know what that nasty ass, dirty, like just disgusting human was up to. So I definitely had to make sure that I go and I get tested, and thank God, you guys, that obviously the results came back negative. But at the same time, as I'm saying, guys, let's do everything that we can. If you're still HIV negative, please do everything that you can to not get it. Okay, let's be the generation that literally cuts this to say we're going to reduce the amount of people that are getting infected every year. If I'm careful, you're careful, the next ninja is careful, then we're reducing the stats. There's no reason why we should be number one in the whole world, guys, when we're not even number one in population in Africa. Hi guys, no man. Anyway, go ahead and comment down below. And again, as I said, I do not have a problem with people living positively with HIV. Celebrate. I do understand fully, and I know that it's a long journey. I do not know fully the struggles that they go through, obviously, but I've watched people, I have seen some, and so obviously, yeah. Again, I don't know if this is also HIV month, but happy belated AIDS World Day. Anyway, ninjas, I love you guys. Stay blessed, and I will see you guys in my next upload. Bye, ninjas.